Hello guys, this is the sewing tutorial of the trouser we drafted earlier. So if you haven't seen the video of how to draft this trouser, please check on the channel. I had posted it already, and then I'm posting the sewing tutorial now. So the first thing I did was to separate the back from the front, and then I'm going to be marking, like you see me doing, 1 inch on the center back. This is for my zip allowance, 1 inch zip allowance, and then the length of my zip is going to be 8 inches. You could decide to use maybe 7 inches, 6, or even 9. But then the thing you have to know about zips are, when inserting your zips, you have to make sure that they are not too short, that for your client's hip to pass your waist. Don't make it too short so that your client's hip can pass easily, and also make sure that you're not extending it for this trouser into the curved lines. So I'm going to be using 8 for this tutorial, and advise that you use same. So I'm marking out that line now, and then I'm going to be marking half inches all the way into the crotch extension for the back, the curved crotch extension for the back. And once I was done doing that, then I'll go ahead and I'll mark the dots. Now this thing that I marked now is just an indication of where I'm going to sew. I'm going to use a loose stitch, and I'll sew all the way from the waist to that 8 inches point. Then I'm going to be back stitching on that 8 inches point. Then I'm going to readjust reset the sewing machine so that I can sew on a tighter stitch. So now I'm going to go ahead and insert my dart, and then my dart is going to be 4 inches for the width and then 4 inches for the length. So, and I'm going to start marking this 4 inches from that 1 inch line that I had created. So I'm marking my 4 inches for the width and then 4 inches for the length of my dart. I will go ahead and I'll open each of the dart legs by ½ inch on each side, and I'll connect it down into the 4 inches length. So I'm doing the same thing. I'm going ahead to do the same thing for the other side of the trouser. Remember that I'm drawing this dart on the wrong side of this fabric, not on the right side. So after I'm done doing this, I'll just take this to the sewing machine and I will sew it. While I'm sewing the dart, the center point will be where I'm going to pick up and indicate for the dart, and I'll follow the lines, and I'll sew that triangle form. I'm going to show you guys the way I'm going to sew it. And once I was done doing this, I'll bring it over for you guys to see what it looks like. So see the way I'm going to sew the dart. I'm going to pick it on the middle, on the center point of that dart, and I will sew just like I'm showing you guys. So I'm taking this to my sewing machine now. So guys, if you haven't subscribed to our channel, please do make sure that you subscribe, and also hit the notification bell so that you'll be notified. So also please give me a thumbs up for this video if you enjoyed watching. It helps to encourage me to do more. Thank you. So here I have sewn this already, and I'm trying to show you guys what it looks like. So I will go ahead and iron this dart down, and also open press the center point where the zipper is supposed to be, because I need to open press it because I need to see those lines, because I'm going to be working with that line to insert my zipper. So when I'm ironing my darts, I'll make sure that my darts are ironed facing each other. Please don't forget what I said. Iron your darts facing each other and then open press on the back. So I'm going to take this aside now, and I'm going to be marking the front part where I need to sew together. So now I'm going to go and sew the front together, the center front together. And like you see me doing, I'm going to be marking ½ inch from that curve all the way down to the waist. And that's where I'm going to be sewing with a tight stitch. So I'll take this to the sewing machine, I'll sew, iron, and I'll bring it back for you guys to see what it looks like. Trousers are very simple. They're one of the simplest things to make. So this is what the product looks like after I'd ironed it. This is what it looks like after I'd ironed it. I've open pressed it. You can see what it looks like. is laying flat, the front is laying flat. Same thing I did for the back. So you see how I ironed the darts, like I told you guys, facing each other. So now what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go ahead and I will loosen the 1 inch that I had sewn up to that 8 inches point. And once I was on doing that, I bring in my zipper and I will go and fix it. But I'll show you guys how to. So here I've laid it down, making sure that the right side of this fabric is facing you. And then on the left side of this, you're going to lay the part of the right side over on it. When you lay it over, you're going to be bringing out the 1 inch. You see, you move this away, bring out the 1 inch sewing allowance. Do you see the line that we have created by ironing this down and loosening it? So that line is what you're going to follow when you're going to sew this. So I'm going to have to pin this down with my pins now, and I'll take it to the sewing machine and I'll sew it. Guys, please, if you do not know how to insert your invisible zipper, I'm working with an invisible zipper here, or any kind of zipper, please do well to check on the channel. I have a detailed tutorial on how you can insert your invisible zipper. Trust me, it's very simple. Invisible zipper simplified. So I'm going ahead like you see me doing, and I'm pinning this all the way down. Once I was done doing this, I'll go and sew it. I will pin the other side also, and I will sew it. Please watch the video on how to insert an invisible zipper. So once we're done inserting an invisible zipper, this is what it looks like. I did not see the short length of this zipper, so I had to go ahead and use the long one, and I cut it through when I was done and then readjusted, like close down the lower edge. So now I will be bringing in the front part, and I'll place the two of them together, making sure that the center points meet, and I will go and I will sew that with my machine. Please make sure that the center points meet. I'm going to show you guys what it looks like. Just watch what I'm doing. Right side of this fabric facing the right side of the back facing the right side of the front. That's the fabric, I mean. So you will lay the two center points together and you will sew. Just watch closely what I'm doing. Do you see? Can you see that? To derive this, you see what I'm doing? I'm making sure that the front sewing allowance goes on one way, and the back sewing allowance comes on the other way. So this helps me I will go ahead and I'll sew from that point all the way down to the ankle, and then the other leg the same thing. I'll bring it back and I'm going to show you guys what this looks like. This trouser is almost taking shape. We're almost done. So in case you wanted to make your palazzo, you can also go ahead and use this pattern and make it, then widen it as much as you want on the lower part. This is just a pencil trouser. So if you want to make yours a palazzo, you can use the drafting pattern and just widen the leg in and make it into a palazzo. So I am done sewing this, and I brought it back for you guys to see. This is what it looks like. Okay, please don't get confused. Trousers are actually very easy to sew. See what I told you guys? Making sure they align on the center. See how mine aligns at the center? The two lines align well. So let's continue. So once I was done doing this, I'm going to be laying the front and the back sides together, and I will pin it all the way down on each side, and then I will come back and insert my waist measurement, my hip measurement, and the rest of it. So here I'm going to go ahead and insert my client's waist measurement. And my client's waist measurement is, I'm going to go ahead and insert my client's waist measurement divided by 2. My client's waist measurement is 29.5, guys. So I'm folding my tape measure into 2 places. So 29.5, when I divide it by 2, I had 14.6, which is what I'm inserting there. And once I inserted it, I divided what I had left into 2 places, because I'm going to be inserting half of it on this side and half of it on the other side. So I will come on my waist. Now I'm going to mark the line that we need. Remember, guys, just in case you marked on your pattern and this line isn't showing, just what you need to know is that you're going to just mark your crotch length, like your crotch depth. You mark it, and then you'll mark it, and then you're going to be adding half inch, which, remember, on the waist side we went up by half of an inch, so you'll be adding that to whatever crotch depth you have. Mine is already, the lines are already there, but in case you drafted on a paper, it won't be showing, so you just know what to do. And at that point, you just be marking 1 inch. Now, how I do this is I really don't insert any measurement here. I'll just have in mind how many inches I added to the garment. And for the hip area, I do this only on the hip. Once I'm done inserting the measurement for the waist, my hip area I inserted 2 inches allowance, and I'm just taking out 1 because I need the other one to be a part of her measurement, so that this trouser is not so clinched to her body. She doesn't want it so tight. But just in case your client wants it too tight, all you need to do is just, if you added 2 inches, go ahead and take 1.5. Don't take all and leave like half so that it's free on them. But this one, she wants it a bit more freer, so I'm just taking 1 out of everything that I have added, and I'm taking that one all the way down. This is after I've inserted the accurate waist measurement. So, but I will go ahead and sew it. But before I go and sew it, I'm going to show you guys how to just hem, like fold the lower part, hem it, and then continue your sewing process. This is very, very easy. Yep. We are almost done. I'm going ahead to mark out what I have added as my hem allowance. If you added 2 inches for your hem allowance, then you're going to be using 2 inches to fold it. If you added 1.5, if you added 1 inch, whatever you added, that's what you're using to fold it. So I'm going ahead to mark out the hem that I had added earlier, and I will go and fold it. I'll show you guys how to fold it here. Then I'll go and sew it, and I'll bring it all back so you can see what it looks like. Yay. So thank you guys for watching my video. Honestly, I really appreciate. Please do watch till the end, and make sure that you subscribe to this channel. If you've always been here, thank you so much. If you're joining us for the first time, you are welcome. Here on this tutorial, we teach sewing tips that can actually make your sew journey easy. So please do well to hit the subscribe button, and make sure you also hit the notification bell so that you're going to be notified whenever I post a new video. Make sure that you're giving me a thumbs up. Please also share links to your friends or family who might be interested in what we're doing. Invite them to come watch your videos, and yeah, that's basically it. Thank you. So this is how you're going to fold it. I'm going ahead to just pin it. You fold over, and then you fold over again so that you conceal the rough edges. Go to the sewing machine and just sew all the way, following your lines to the hem. So I have done this, I've hemmed it. You see what the hem looks like. First I folded and then I folded a little bit inwards again so that I can conceal the rough edges of that hem. So I've sewn it, as you can see. I'll go ahead and insert the measurement on the other side and I'll go and sew it and bring it for you guys to see what it looks like. So what I'm going to be doing next is I'm going to be placing my tape at this point now on the point where we had, do you see where my tape is, where we've inserted the measurement, and I will now place the waist measurement there. Now at this point there's really no need for you to how do I put this, to divide anything. The first one we divided because we need to be adding that the remaining part on this side. So now we're adding that remaining part. All you need to do from your waist, you just measure, you take the measurement from the points that you had inserted, the measurement that you've inserted, just take it all the way and you mark it. Then I'm marking down the 1 inch that I used on the other side also. And once I was done doing this, I'll just go and sew it down and bring it for you, my darlings, to see. Don't mind me, oh. So this is what it looks like here. And our trouser's almost ready, like, guys, just to, insert the band. This trouser has no pockets. Yeah, it doesn't have any pockets. It's just a basic trouser. So maybe in time I'm going to be posting videos of trousers with pocket and all that, but this particular one I'm making has no pocket. So this is what it looks like. I'm laying for you guys to see. Please, if you have lights, make sure that you're sewing and you're ironing, because later what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn it over at the back and I will open press it and it comes out very beautiful. So this is my band. Now, how did I go about getting my band? What I did was the waist of my client plus 2 inches. So 29.5 plus 2 inches. That's what I have as the length of my band. Okay. And then I folded it. The width of my dart is 4 inches. Yes. 4 inches is the width of my dart. And then the length is her waist plus 2 inches. So first I folded into 2 when I was ironing. You see that I put an interlining because I wanted this band to be firm. So I folded into 2 first and I folded into another 2. Can you see what it looks like? First I folded into 2 and I folded into another 2. Now on this second one that you folded, that's the one that is going to guide you when you're sewing it. There's a one that's inside and there's a one that's outside. That one that's inside is the one that you're going to sew with first on the wrong path of this fabric. Please follow, guys. Please don't. I hope you understand this. Just watch what I'm doing. You're placing it on the wrong side of this fabric. Do you see? I've gone ahead to sew it. This interlining is actually to make this firm and nothing more. I've gone ahead to sew it using that 1/2 inch that I folded as a guide. So once I was done doing this, I'm going to bring this over to the front. Yes, I'll move this inwards and I will place this on top of it and I will go and sew. But before I do that, I need to close the edges where my hook is going to be. And look at what I'm doing. But I'm going to bring in pins now just to show you exactly what I'm talking about. So this is the reason why I added the extra, because I knew I was going to be needing it to sew to close the rough edges. So you see, if I sew it that way and I turn it over, this is what it should look like. So the right side of your band should have like an extra 1 inch away from where the zipper stops, while the one on the left should not have anything. It should just stop at the point where your zipper stops. I'm going to be showing you guys. Just watch closely. You will see what this looks like. Guys, trousers are so simple, so simple and interesting to make. So this the way that I'm putting this band, you can also follow this and put maybe your skirt band or whatever band that you want to put. Yeah, this works too. So do you see what the example looks like? But I will have to go to the sewing machine and sew it down, not with pins. I actually use pins to hold it down so you guys can understand and see what I'm talking about. But do you see? That one is stopping exactly where the zip stops. And then the one on the right is exceeding the zip by an inch so that I can hook it. Okay? Because you know I'm going to sew a hook onto this when I'm done. So I'll lay them flat this way and I will go on my sewing machine. I will sew it and I'll bring it back. So I'm done sewing it. I'm not sewing this. Look at what it looks like. Look at it. See how the one on the left where it stops and then see where the right one on the right stops. When I'm putting my hook that way. Yeah. So guys, we've actually come to the end of this tutorial. There's nothing more to do on this. All I need to do now is to take it to my sewing machine and I will sew and I'm sorry, to my ironing table and iron it.